Welcome to Care Less with Carly, the podcast for people who are done playing by their roles. I'm your host, Carly Lynn, and each week we'll cut through the noise with real talk, bold conversation, and expert insights to help you trade perfection for purpose and live life on your own terms. Today I'm joined by the fearless and very funny Kristen Knapp. Kristen is the founder of Heartbeat Rosé, the first ever spicy rosé on the market. In today's episode, she gives us her unfiltered thoughts on what it takes to build a bold brand from the ground up, how to stop caring what people think, and why putting yourself out there, even when it feels a little cringe, can actually change everything. So whether you're dreaming of starting something or you're already deep, deep in the process, this one's for you. So I'm here with Kristen Knapp, the founder of Heartbeat Rosé. We are reconnecting after many years not living in the same city, and I'm so excited to see you.
I know. I'm so excited to be on your podcast. I'm so proud of you for starting this. And
Thank you. I was joking that if our 2020 selves could see us now, we would be very proud. So
I know. I remember us talking about both of these concepts.
And they were just ideas. I mean,
Yeah.
quarantine feels like multiple lifetimes ago, but the steps to getting to where both of us are right now were, at least for me, not easy. And I'm assuming for you also not without challenge.
Yes.
So tell us where you are today. What's exciting you? What's top of mind? Where are we meeting you?
Yeah. So I launched my company Heartbeat about a year ago at this point. It's the first spicy rosé. So we ferment fresh peppers to give it a little kick at the end. It's kind of like a spicy cocktail meets rosé. First to market product, very exciting. And where I'm at now, I'm definitely in that, now scale phase. So I was in the build phase and now I'm in that, okay, let's really light this up, which I love because I feel like a lot of podcasts I listen to, it's a lot of people being like, look at what I built and I sold the company. But I think there's a lot of value in someone who is in the beginning and still, going through it and still trying to enjoy the journey along the way. Because of course I have aspirations to make this much larger than it is and to sell the company and all of that. But I try really hard to enjoy doing it every day. So it's been really fun. And yeah, that's kind of like the update of where we're at right now.
I totally connect with that because what I have found listening to founder stories is you get to hear their experience once they've already crossed the finish line. But I think there's so much more value in hearing what the day-to-day is like. Can you tell the audience a little bit about what your background was? Because it was not in beverage, it was not in the wine industry. This was truly just a brainchild of yours that you decided to take steps to build. So tell us a little bit about where you started.
Yeah, so I had no experience in alcohol. I worked in the celebrity brands world for like 10 years. So I worked at a talent agency and then I worked with Gwen Stefani and her fashion brands. And I worked with Dr. Phil and his wife for, 6 or 7 years. And, I just did a lot of kind of odd jobs within that umbrella. But I always had aspirations to have my own brand or my own company, something like that. But I didn't really know what I wanted to do. But in quarantine, I just started getting really serious about like, okay, I really want to be open to inspiration and be open to an idea. Like if I get something I'm really passionate about, I want to run with it because I feel like I'm at the time in my career where I can really do something on my own. And I just had the idea for this. I started making it during quarantine and it was literally just like a light bulb. And I was like, I'm going to build this. And I just never stopped. And there was no part of me that considered not doing it. Just was always like, oh, now this is going to be what I do with my life. And it took me 3 years to build. And now we've been in the market for like a little over a year. So it kind of has been.
What were some of the early obstacles you faced once you made the decision to move forward with this idea?
I mean, everything's an obstacle. Literally everything is an obstacle, especially in alcohol. It's one of the most regulated categories of grocery. It's very heritage. It's very like pay to play. So someone like me really isn't supposed to have their own wine brand. So the challenges of, I mean, it's anything you can think of. I mean, I had challenges in branding, challenges in product development, challenges in getting it to market. But the challenges I'm facing right now, we're in Total Wine stores. We're scaling through California, but now I need more retail. So that's the challenge right now that we're really looking into. Distribution in alcohol is very complex and it's, every state has its own laws. A lot of times like counties have their own laws. So scaling looks a lot different in alcohol. And that's something I've had to really learn, is just to be patient and to not need to have everything done tomorrow, to just, build the blocks and know that we're going to get there.
I'm listening to you and I'm already inspired because there's so many opportunities where you can stop. Right,
Hmm.
like you just said, everything's an obstacle, and it's true. Every small decision, every small thing you need to research, every email you need to send, person you need to cold outreach to is an opportunity to stop, and you have just not stopped. And now you
Yeah.
have a real business.
Completely. I mean, I do think starting your own company is more of a personality type than anything else. And if you're really passionate about something and you want to bring it to market, like for me, I was going to bring this to market. It never occurred to me not to. But yeah, there's obstacles every day. And even the areas that you feel really confident in and you're like, oh, this is my wheelhouse. This is what I can do without help. You start to second guess it. And you're like, well, do I know what I'm talking about? So it's just every day being comfortable in the uncomfortable and learning to not feel stupid if you don't know something. It's just, you need more information.
You just said something that I want to put on a post-it note on my mirror, getting comfortable in the uncomfortable.
Yeah.
How do you actually do that?
It's like for me personally, it was just being in it. It's just being exposed to all of this so many times that at a certain point you're like, okay. And then you realize that it's so normal and everyone's going through the same thing. And there's like comfort in that for me. You talk to everyone and everyone's going through the same pain points. So you start to just see it as normal.
I think a lot of people that I've spoken to, I think everybody has a quiet whisper of a dream.
Totally.
And the decision whether you action on it or not is really up to you. There's that line, it says like companies are 1% of it is an idea, 99% is execution. With the ethos of this podcast about caring less in order to move forward with the things that are actually driving you towards your goals, what were some of the things that you inevitably had to care less about in order to make this a reality?
A big thing that's kind of topical for me, it just like caring what other people think. That's something that's been a through line through the whole, from going from 0 to 1. In the beginning, it was like I always felt like I had to prove myself. I had to prove to people that I was doing something that was of value. And then I kind of got over that because you start to just kind of work in your own world and you have to look at yourself and be like, I am enough. And if I'm enough, then so be it. So when I launched this, I was like, I'm not doing any founder content on social media. And over the course of the last probably like 4 or 5 months, I've really broken that where I'm like, I have to, like, you have to. And attention isn't a bad thing. Attention is a tool that you use to build your dreams, whatever those dreams are. And I was really scared to be on camera. And then I did. And I realized all my friends were so supportive because they're my friends and they love me. And of course, you have to be on camera to support your business. So getting all that support was a moment where I'm like, oh, nobody cares about me. Nobody's thinking about how cringy Kristen is. Everyone's moving on with their day and they have their own stuff going on. So that kind of has built where now I'm really comfortable on camera. And it's been such a good breakdown of some of my limiting beliefs. Just to not care and put yourself out there has been huge for me. And I've seen that really pay out in a lot of areas of the business as well. Because now I'm less in my head about what's the perception of what I'm doing. And I'm just doing it and being like
Right.
in one flow state.
If I could bottle that and ship it out to the world, it would be a different society. That all sounds really nice, but if somebody's listening and they're like, cool, I'd love to put myself out there, but I don't know how or I don't know where to start. And also, I just want to say, I love when I see a video of you. And you also hit the nail on the head that as a brand owner, people want to see you. They want to understand who the face is behind the brand. But anyways, back to the question. So how did you get past that? Because there is sort of a cringe element in the beginning. So what was that
Yeah.
like?
And it's not like it's so gone, but you just have to do it. And it was really gradual for me. So I say it's in the last like 5 months, but I think that's when I've started getting really actually confident in it. But this has been the course of probably like a year and a half. I took probably like 4 or 5 months just thinking about it, where I'm trying to break down the fear And then finally I posted my first video. My friends were so supportive of it. And I was like, okay, this isn't that scary. I broke the seal, but it's really just doing it because whatever content you're going to put out there, it's going to suck in the beginning. And you're going to iterate it and you're going to get better and better. When you're doing something for the first time and it's brand new, it's not going to be as good as when you've been doing it for months and months. Just start posting videos without any expectation of it doing well. Like just start the mechanics of filming content, putting it out there and seeing what's working and not working. And then the more you're doing it, the more you're like, okay, like this isn't that bad. And then things kind of start to click a little bit.
Yeah, what's starting to click for you now?
I'm still in that discovery phase. I've started new accounts and all of this, and I've posted same content to all these accounts. Every once in a while, I would do reality TV, just like a rant or something.
Commenting on like
Yeah.
reality TV you're watching.
Yeah, because my brain is mush and that's all I watch. So it's like I would get a lot of views. So I was like, okay, let me try to lean into this and just try to see if I could do an unbranded page that I can then fold my brand into it and maybe make some money off of it, which I haven't gotten to the point where I can monetize it yet, but I get a lot of views on it. I can get stuff to pop off on the reality TV. So it's like I realized the formula with that visual hook, the audio hook, all the stuff you need to make something go off. I've figured that out. So now I'm trying to apply that to my brand because it's a little less specific. It's like with reality TV, all my keywords and my hashtags or whatever I'm talking about, it's very specific. It's like I'm talking about Real Housewives on Bravo and it's sending it to the Bravo crowd. With my skits that I do on Heartbeat, it's a little less specific. I'm in the trenches with that right now, just trying to be like, okay, how can I pivot? How can I pivot? You're going to post stuff, it's not going to work, and you're going to have to figure out, okay, how do I make it work? People use the algorithm as an excuse a lot. It should be like, okay, so let me figure out how to appease the algorithm.
Right. It sounds like once you were able to break the seal, you fully dove into creativity. Like it almost unlocked this whole new side of creative expression for you, where you were just open to trying things. I think that's really important. And secondly, that's also part of, I think, the perils of every marketing creative branding person is like right when you feel like you've got something that works, you have to figure it out again because
Yeah.
things change, audience behavior changes, consumer purchasing changes, platforms change. When you post your videos, I literally am like, this is founder boss girl energy. This is giving Stitch Bitch 2017. We didn't even talk about that you used to have a stitching company. So it's obviously very clear that you've always had the entrepreneurial bug. And I think for a lot of people, there's a risk tolerance you have to take into account. Being your own boss, even though it sounds idyllic, you make your own schedule, you're not answering to anybody. There's a certain degree of also, obviously, financial instability at times.
Yeah.
I've also heard loneliness, people just wanting community because you're not showing up at a place of work with a room of colleagues, at least not in the beginning. And that's never seemed to be an issue for you. You've just bulldozed your way.
That's very kind. But I definitely have struggled with a lot of that. I think that going back to what I said about entrepreneur, I feel like that's like a personality type. Like it's just
It really is.
you're just trading issues for another issue. Working for corporate has its own set of, downside, upside, and then working for yourself it's whatever problems you want to swap and what works for you. And for me, building has always made me really fulfilled and I really enjoy that process. So I was willing to take some of these negative things, just absorb it because I'm so passionate about building and scaling and all of that. But I've struggled a lot with it. It's just about how you get up and keep moving. So when I was building this product, I never had even a doubt in my mind. When you think you shoot for the stars, you're like, this is going to be the biggest thing in the world on day one. This is amazing. Never in my mind did I have any fear or doubt or anything. It didn't even occur to me. And then you launch it and you're like, fuck, now I have to do something with this. And reality sets in where you're like, oh my God, what did I just do? And I remember crying and just being like, now I have to actually do this. Like it was so fun building it, but now I have to do it. And in that first year, or in this first year, it's been a lot of, should I have a co-founder? Should I not have a co-founder? And I feel like I've gotten to a really great place where now I I feel like I have people around me that are so wonderful and help me within my business, and I feel less alone. And I'm at a place now where I at least see the path. And in the beginning, you don't see the path at all. You're like, I don't even know how to get anywhere. So I feel a little bit calmer in that way.
Yeah, and it is choosing your problems. I
Yeah.
like how you phrased that. The path of an entrepreneur is usually pretty unknown, even as you're
Mhm.
taking steps. But you said you've been leaning more into community to support you, advisors or different people.
Yeah, advisors are huge and really just connecting with other people who have businesses and also finding people who are kind of in the same stage as you because I have friends that are just crushing it and doing so well. And, it's great talking with those people, but you do kind of come home and you're like, God damn it. And then on the other end, you have friends that are shuttering their business and you hang up the phone and you're like, ew, that's scary. Is
Yeah.
that going to be me? So finding people who are in the same stage as me has been really helpful.
Yeah, knowing where to turn for support. It's like any real transition in life, moving to a new city, starting a new job, a new company,
Totally.
becoming a parent. It's a tool for everything. It's a tool for dating and networking, friend building. When you were building the brand, what were some of the early inspirations for how you wanted the brand to come across in market? Like you have a very specific tone with Heartbeat.
That part has been so fun. I have my creative advisor, Matt Cruz, who is just, we work so well together where we can really riff off of each other and he meets me where I'm at. So he really helped me. I mean, luckily, I met him through a mutual friend right at the beginning. If I didn't meet Matt, I don't know what the plan was going to be. But we were able to have all these conversations of like, what do we want people to feel when they hold a bottle or when they drink it or go to the website? And he was able to do therapy on my brand. What is the core of what you're trying to do? And I'm really proud of visually what we've created. The label, I designed it myself. I just did it on Illustrator. I just did it myself. But I love
Love
the
them.
branding and it's stylish. It has a little of a retro feel to it a little bit. But there's humor involved. So I think I was trying so hard to make this something. And then after a while, I was like, I'm gonna default back to my personal taste because I do feel like this product is so linked to me personally. The tone of voice is my tone of voice. The visuals are my styles of visuals. And then we do like silly skits where I'm able to have fun and be funny. So I was able at a certain point to just be like, okay, I'm going to stop trying to be someone. I'm just going to authentically make this kind of be like an extension of myself and my personal taste, which I don't think everyone that starts a brand should do that or gets to do that. But with this, it just made sense. So it's always very easy for me to have a consistent tone and branding because it really is just my taste at the end of the day. I'm really proud of everything we've built with that.
I was gonna say the brand is you in a wine bottle.
It is.
Sweet with a little spice and a kick. Like that is you. And of course, as you said, not every brand can do this, but if you are a solo entrepreneur who's starting something, or if you're somebody listening who has an idea for a blog or a clothing company or whatever it
Mhm.
is, even starting something in CPG, and you have the opportunity to be the voice, really knowing how to stay authentic to who you are is such a gift.
Yeah, and it's difficult because I had no experience in this industry. I had no experience really starting a business at this scale. So I felt like I didn't know what I was doing for anything. And kind of what I was saying at the beginning of the podcast, where you start to second guess the things that you're actually good at. Because I'm like, oh, well, I don't know what I'm talking about. Like this brand is doing way better than me. I have to emulate what that brand is doing, or I have to take a combination of these brands that I like. And there is something to be said for sourcing inspiration and applying that to your brand. But all that being said, once I kind of realized like, no, like the uniqueness is the draw. And you kind of like look at yourself personally where you're like, okay, I've been able to amass all of these friends and work acquaintances based off of my tone who all have the same humor as me. This can be something that can scale. It feels like an extension of me.
I think anything that you're going to do that's long lasting has to have a genuine North Star.
Yeah.
And in a world where it's so easy to replicate things that are going on, people are so hungry for genuine creativity.
Right.
So there's only one Kristen out there. And to my knowledge, there's only one spicy rosé that we all should
Hi.
hear about out there. So for you to try to be anything else in market, your product isn't the same as anything else in market. So I think that's really good advice.
Yeah, 100%. And I did find myself trying to emulate other brands in the beginning and being like, oh, well, this is what it's supposed to be. And I don't know. It's just a matter of like screwing up a lot and breaking down your ego to a point where you're like, okay, I can just be. I don't have to think everything to death, which I still do, but you know what I mean.
Is there any early advice you got that sticks out as being really helpful?
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten such great advice from a lot of different people throughout the journey of this. I mean, I got advice in the beginning that it's like if this is something you're really passionate about and you don't find yourself wanting to stop, you have to keep going with it. Don't let the fear get in the way. I've gotten a lot of great advice around just trusting myself and trusting my gut, coming back to myself. And it is funny. I feel like I've done this circle where it's like, you try to be other brands and then you come back to yourself and you're like, oh, this is actually what works.
And more interesting when you're not trying to be something else.
100%. Because there's a lot, I mean, in my space, especially alcohol, just anything in the grocery space, but alcohol in particular, it's a lot of reiterating the same stuff over and over again. So kind of breaking outside of that.
What are you excited for looking forward with the brand?
I'm really excited for this next stage. I mean, getting us into more grocery and more retail is going to be so huge. And I can't wait because then that's when I think the movement will happen, the hot rosé movement. So I cannot wait for that. And in the meantime, keeping the brand, like iterating the brand, iterating the content. I'm really into content right now. So I'm really having a lot of fun making videos and doing all that creative stuff. I have this great drag queen, Angelique the Gorgeous, and she's helping me do some samplings, and I think all the social media content that we have planned is really exciting to me.
That sounds amazing. To end, on a personal level, where would you hope to be as a leader, female entrepreneur in the next 10 years? How do you see yourself positioned as a strong female leader?
In the next 10 years, I will have sold my business and I will be a success story. Come back on your podcast and we'll talk about it. We'll have a glass of wine. I'm so passionate about helping young girls and just helping them discover their creativity. I feel like when I was younger, I was inventing products and I was inventing this and that, but it never occurred to me that this was a real career path. And it took me a while to have confidence in that and to see like, oh, I actually am really well suited for this, just in the way that what makes me happy and what I'm willing to sacrifice and all that. After I sell my company, I want to do like a nonprofit and help young girls discover their entrepreneurial skills.
I see you in your Malibu mansion having a girls' day out by the pool. Everybody is sipping a glass of rosé and you're like, listen up, girls. This is what you can do. You and Mrs. Von Gorgeous.
Yes, exactly.
Well, thank you for imparting your wisdom with us. I feel like after this conversation, we both deserve a glass of wine.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, 100%. I got some in the fridge, so.
I will link all of your information in the show notes and any other ways that we should be contacting you and following the journey.
Yeah, so moreheartbeat.com to buy bottles. We do free nationwide shipping with three or more bottles. And then right now in retail, we're in California only. So California Total Wine, look us up. You can look on our website to see where we're at. Thank you so much for having me. This was so fun.
Thank you. Thanks for tuning in to Care Less with Carly. If this episode resonated with you or reminded you to stop living by someone else's rules, I would love to hear about it. Don't forget to hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you enjoyed today's conversation, leaving a quick review means the world and helps more people find the show. If there's a guest you'd love to hear from, DM me their name at Careless with Carly on Instagram or drop me a comment. I'm always looking for powerful, honest voices to bring into this space. Until next time, you got this. Keep caring less about what others think and more about what makes you come alive.